Fate of Nations really is, it's taken a lot of hard work, and as people come and gone, and really, I think the whole mood of the thing, apart from the actual writing of the lyrics, which are really incredible this time, because I wrote them, and the chordal work, is really Kevin. Because Kevin gave us all the sort of tincture and the vibe from the guitar initially, which made us turn the corner. And Frankie came along and gave us the sort of...
With a big stick.
The best bits.
He came along with a leg and went...
So yeah, it's much more where I was when I was 17. When I used to play with Bonzo before Zepp, it was like, yeah, man, the music was a bit more... I don't know, it just wasn't so... It wasn't a case of strutting out there and being like... all the time. You got gentle with it, and you could also get sensitive and sensual, and you could play some big riffs, and you could deal with it, you know.
We've had enough of cock rocks.
Yeah, we do that.
When was it, no?
Hey, wait a minute, I'm the only one who ain't married in this band. No, that's not true. Actually, I'm the only one that isn't married in this band.
Ask him about the phone box in Wisconsin. I keep telling you that, but you won't.
Maybe. So I wanted to ask you about the fact that you've been around for a long time, and you practically wrote the dictionary for rock attitude and kind of pose. It must be very strange to look at young bands and new bands doing what you have done before and perhaps thrown away with Fate of Nations.
They don't do what we did before, because even Hammer of the Gods doesn't sum it up, because Hammer of the Gods is a contrivance by a guy who got a bus ticket and ended up on the same bus as us for half an hour once, and bought some stories off a few drug dealers. But no, it's not like it used to be at all. But maybe that's a good idea, because I lost a lot of friends, you know, from the excesses. Of, like, when you've got absolute and total freedom, and you're not striking some kind of preordained, prerequisite pose of rockist pose, you can do anything. You can go out to the edge. You can do anything. Lennon used to do the most amazing things in Hamburg when they used to play the Star Club, because you don't have to go home. You don't have anybody to report to. There are no rules. What I see a lot now is some people have got the kind of instruction manual, and they're going, okay, we're doing really well now, and if we do this, you re-alight the rock and roll attitude. Now the trouble is, you can only use the box of matches so many times before there's none left. So the kind of rock thing now...
Well, you get guys who get together just purely to make a band to get a deal, not to make music.
My shelf at home is full of those fucking books, textbooks of how to sacrifice and everything for success. That's why I had fucking enough of it and decided just to quit it all. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
So now you release the best songs of the album instead of the ones that you think MTV might just play.
Well, yes and no. 29 Palms is a very poppy song, and so is I Believe, but they have an attitude. I Believe especially has a you've got to deal in some ambiguities. You've got to come out with something that isn't so blatantly obvious it's in your face. Every Rose Has Its Thorn is okay, but it's also a bit like, you know...
You know, John Lennon once said, if an owl ain't white, then the owl ain't worth throwing.
Really? Okay, I'll remember really that cool, one. We should talk about 29 Palms, because we're going to play there. Is it a place?
Yes, in California. Yeah, it's on the back road from Palm Springs to Las Vegas, where you meet Route 66 at Amboy, California, and then you head east to Vegas. It's the old Gambler's Road to Vegas. It's like a dog leg. It's got the largest concentration of Marines in the world, just about 5 miles up the road.
And did you shoot the video there? Were you there actually for the...
No.
That's trick photography, right?
Trick photography, yeah. No, in fact, I was just about 1.5 miles from your house.
Right.
Yeah, you remember I left early that morning?
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Well, I can't see my blood. You've got some really stellar guests on the album, Fate of Nations. Richard Thompson, who I think is probably one of the most unsung heroes. And if there's any justice in the world, he'd be more famous than he is. But is this because you were wanting to get a little bit of Celtic, you were talking about getting back to your Celtic roots on this album? Is that the sort of the British folky, the archetypal British folky?
No, it just played me.
No, you went off to make your own bloody record. He's got a solo deal, this guy. Can you believe it?
Wow. There's no loyalty these days, is there?
He rides on my back to get a deal with the same record label, and then nicks me manager as well. But
Richard Thompson.
the people here who are really cool. No, Richard Thompson played with Fairport when Zepp and Fairport were really close.
Right. So he's an old mate, is he?
He's an old friend, yeah. He's a very mellow man. The reason he's not a huge pop idol is because he thinks that the whole pop idol thing is a little bit of surplus to requirements.
I guess it makes him
Think about it.
more special to the people who know about him anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, sure. I mean,
Everyone.
maybe his audience has got a 4-minute attention span. He's got like Eastern
Rather than
slang.
2 minutes. What
Yeah.
about Nigel Kennedy? He's going to be...
Nigel.
Oh!
Is Nigel here?
Yeah.
Is he?
He's in the bar. He's in
Do
the
you want
bar.
to talk to him? Have you
No,
no?
just tell us how you hooked up with him, what you wanted him to contribute for the
Oh,
album.
because we had some Indians playing on Network News and they couldn't crack it. We had these 3 Indian blokes, and we, on According to You, they sat in circles with their shoes off, you know, playing cross-legged, and it looked very cool, and they got egos to go with their clothes. Everything was really well, you know, ironed and neat and pressed, but they couldn't play it. And Nigel would do anything for a smoke. So, you know, he came out, he's sweet. I mean, he's really, really... it would be great if he was... Hey, Glenn, could you ask Nigel if he could pop in to do a telly thing? Yeah, because it's really good to hear from him what he thinks, because he really is an owl. Isn't he? He's an owl man.
You still have a sort of a love affair with the music from the Orient or the East.
North
kind of
Africa,
thing,
yeah.
yeah.
The Berber music. I mean, if you stick around for the gig tonight, I know you want to go to the cup final, but...
Oh yeah, the final's on.
Yeah.
What are we doing this for? Let's call
This
it.
is a load of old toss, isn't it? Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've been going there for so many years, I feel like I belong more there than I do in Fulham,
Yeah.
definitely. There's a lot more room for a start. You can buy anything.
Party car.
And the people are beautiful there, you know? They've got a great sense of humour and they're very... They got to have. With me wandering around. With me tape machine going, there's a riff. Oh, I've got another riff, oh, it's Kashmir again. Oh, shit.
Serious.
The bad influences, eh?
Nigel.
Okay, hello.
That's what's known in the books.
Nigel's very cool, I don't care what you say.
Come on, you wolves.
How did you get
Well,
together,
no,
Nigel?
but-
Just, you know.
What?
How did
have
you
a
get
drink?
together? Yeah, have a drink. How did you get together with this man?
I just had pity on like a poor, you know, I think the younger clubs, the lesser clubs should have support as well.
Soccer.
But he's also playing louder than you were singing. This is what I can't
Yeah,
understand.
that's because the sound man hasn't been given quite enough money to
Has he
make...
got a solo deal as well?
Yeah, he wanted to stretch into the Eastern thing, so he'd been to...
Actually, I went to West Ham, that's as far east as I'll go. But
Well, it's
anyway,
been 3 miles to you, 2.5.
how much, you're not allowed to drink on MTV anyway,
Look,
are you?
we're after midnight.
Is it? You're after midnight? Are you?
After midnight, Jerry Mulligan. Yeah, so Nigel lives around the corner and he'd come looking for me a few times with his Aston Villa strip on to try and embarrass me. I went to a soccer match with him a couple of weeks ago and I took my boy and he bought him a bloody Villa strip. And worse than that, the kid's been wearing it.
Wearing it, and also he's like graffitied my gateway.
Oh, you've
like
seen it?
Wolves rule, man. It was like being in the
Logan was there with his spray can going, woo, woo, okay.
You have a great gig tonight, an
Thank you,
excellent
Come
tour.
on the
with all
cameras,
I know I have to come in because I
really
have to
cool.
say goodbye, but,
Yeah.
but I'm a little bit
Exactly.
starstruck, so...
I bet you say that to all the boys.
Hip hip, hurrah! Hip hip, hurrah! Hip hip, hurrah!
Brilliant. Thanks a lot.
No sleep till
Thank you.
bedtime.